champs is in.
I just hike the ball and I look for the open man. The zone, I'm trying to get in. Open the play with the book of the champion. Get flipped if you trying to get in. I got the front defense, they got the end. Going for long on first and the 10. Gotta go hard, we gotta get all. No loss or excuses, cause we gotta win. They say they sleep, must not be a fan. Get at your mans and mess up your plans. Look at your stands and look at your hands. I do what I want and you do what you can. I do it for fans, you do it for fame. EA Sports, we in the game. I am the coach and the player of the game. They gon' remember the name.
We want back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win.
An NFC Championship game rematch. It's the coach. You're watching Week 5 of the NFL on EA Sports. Last January, it was Case Keenum versus Nick Foles. Today, it's Kirk Cousins versus Carson Wentz as the Minnesota Vikings head to Philly to take on the Eagles. I'll have stats and scores around the league at halftime. But first, let's send it out to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying, fly, Eagles, fly, as they get ready to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus.
Two of the bigger disappointments in the first quarter of the season doing battle here as we get this one underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the defending NFC champs on offense now. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Tackle made by Everson Griffin. Quickly now, a look at the Eagles' offensive starters.
Throw on your shades, throw on your sunglasses. We're about to shine a little spotlight on Golden Tate, who comes off of 4 straight seasons with 90 or more catches. He's a guy that maybe doesn't get put in the category of elite receiver, but when you look at his production overall and how he's used in their offense, wide receiver, slot back, take some plays at running back, he's a threat every time the ball's in his hands, especially after the catch.
That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Here's Sproles, and an alley to run. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A look there at what Sproles did a week ago. 15 carries, 66 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
They go play action here on first down. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy that has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 right at the 20. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And his first carry, he loses the football. And this belongs to the Vikings. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV. Called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. First down, here's Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Play fake here on first down. He's going to air one out. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. Cousins now from the 50, and that is incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
And defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. Back deep is Darren Sproles. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Goes underneath for Sproles. Sproles lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings. Anything to make of this, or just a bad stretch? Because he had the 2 fumbles he lost last week, and now a 3rd.
It's a bad stretch, but it's one that he has to make sure he overcomes. This isn't on anyone else but him. Taking care of the ball, tucking it away, keeping it high and tight, all the while doing that and not slowing down his running and his ability to move the ball forward.
And now out comes Minnesota. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks, because then the defense has the advantage.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. On 2nd down, Cook. And they'll get this down to the 10. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now Cook, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. His pass caught at the 4. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first quarter lead. Those are the touchdowns that aren't just scored on Sundays or on Monday night. Those are the ones that are scored during the week because they had that preparation in a great route run.
Oh, I love that observation, because you don't just roll out on game day and say, okay, go run this route and let's get it done. That means exactly what you said. The practice had to occur beforehand, which led to the timing, which led to the touchdown.
Bailey got the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. 5 plays there on that drive, and it's polished off by a Viking score. play now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Wentz now on first down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Everson Griffin in there to sack him for a loss of 6. I know some of the talk after last week's loss was the O-line struggles. They gave up 4 sacks. He got hit here and taken down again, so that's something to monitor.
It is something to monitor, but they've got to help their offensive line out. Maybe a little bit different play calling, right? Draws, screens, get the ball in the quarterback's hands quicker, maybe some quick game passes. All of that to try and help slow down a pass rush and make things easier on their offensive line.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
I'm focusing in on Everson Griffin, who's coming off of 3 straight Pro Bowl appearances and tied for 4th in sacks with a career-high 13 in 2017. Really anchors the defensive front of the Minnesota Vikings. Can get sacks in flurries, in bunches. A hard guy to keep away from a quarterback.
Here we go. 120.
Now Wentz on third down. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Anthony Barr with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Pass incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
But there was no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Cousins. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Matt Wild now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to run now. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, you know, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guy's trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he loses the football a second time. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And now out comes Minnesota. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mike Bennett in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So a first-quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them, maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They run the counter with Cook, and he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 7-0 is our score, and we're back to Philadelphia after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And that is no good. He hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. And this score will stay right where it is. Marching back out there, ready for the next possession. Here comes the Vikings defense. And so far, their game plan, whatever it's been on this side of the football, working pretty well.
And I like where you went there, the game plan. You know that they spent all week watching tape, evaluating, putting together that game plan that they thought would be effective. But there's nothing like seeing it actually work on game day. What we're seeing here, wow, what a performance by them so far.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Really strong, effective run there out of a power set or a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game, and that's tough for a defensive coordinator. They want to spot that lineup coming into the game early so they can get the proper defensive personnel on the field. That's why the coordinator's relying on some of the assistants to tell him what offensive personnel is hitting the field so he can adjust accordingly. They weren't able to stop him on that run.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid on picking up a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Wentz now on first down. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
And a kick by Elliott is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle.
That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play. He was able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
He filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a one. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Latavius Murray, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
Bailey now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
One of my favorite safeties in the league is Harrison Smith. His ability to support in the run game, as we just saw there, that's key, but also can cover deep as well.
Throwing is Wentz. Incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage.
Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the out cut. On that play, didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
Ertz over the middle. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. An Eagle first down there. Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a first down.
And he'll be the one in the film session if he's saying, hey, run that one back, coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that
2
again.
more time.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. The Eagles on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Wentz. Screen pass to Sproles. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a second down. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Cousins now on second down. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And complete, right side to tight end Rudolph. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's Matt Wild now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now Sproles. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now it's Sproles pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The Eagles on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. They'll run it with Sproles. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. They start the drive with Cook, and he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Second down, Cousins. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. A give. This is Cook. And down he'll go at the 25. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Sproles, the return. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st down, Wentz caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Play action to Sproles. Wentz. It's complete to Golden Tate. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. And Elliott puts this one through. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cook. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. The offense on third down tonight, they've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on third down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop. Now a second down throw for Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. Play fake. Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that one results in 35 yards.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Cousins giving this Vikings offense a bit of a spark early on in his tenure in purple as his guys have it 1st and 10. Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call.
False start, offense.
Had some momentum going, driving down the field. That'll set him back 1st and 15.
I mean, that type of play, when you've got to go in your direction, shoot, my man Old Mo is arching an eyebrow at him right now. You've got me going. Keep me going.
Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves? It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a first down run. And when you gain that kind of yardage against a defense, it's really kind of geared to stop that play. Your confidence has to rise, and now you've actually opened up your playbook. If you want to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go.
To throw is Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
The Eagles on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Wentz. He's going to air one out. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line.
Holding, offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 4 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
The Eagles on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Working from the gun, Wentz. And that is incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
Now we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. The Eagles send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling him in the huddle right now.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. Again, it's Cook. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
Not the result they were looking for there on third down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. On the return, it's Tate. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the
First down.
conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down. Wentz now to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Come on now, let's go. Hey. There we go, back.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Got a man open, it's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles move back within a couple of the lead. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish tight matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover it? When I sit in the film section, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover him.
And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3.
They made the decision to go for 2. They didn't get it. They remained down by 2 points. Should they have kicked it there?
A third quarter, I'm okay with it. Maybe first or second, you don't. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I keep coming back to, I don't like to chase a lot of points.
Yeah.
But I also don't know what kicking an extra point being down 1 does for me.
Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now Cousins. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And that'll bring up second down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get nothing out of that one.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Ouch, you thought you had the defensive stand. Roughing the passer wipes it out.
What does every defense talk about? 3 and out, right? Thought they were able to get off the field. Not so.
Cook following the penalty. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
They run it again with Cook. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. The Vikings on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing, Cousins. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent. Just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader. Making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Go.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And down he'll go at the 25. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
That was an okay hookup there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Wentz going to throw. Going to look deep for Jeffrey. And got his man complete. 20, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on. And remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead is up to 5. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a run with Cook. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
But they certainly got dented with that first down run. So now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
They go play action. Cousins. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Michael Bennett. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Play action now. Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did. I
think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Cousins now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Cousins now from the 50. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Chris Long. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. From the gun, here's Cousins. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense, but when you add to it, you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the fourth quarter. Got to feel pretty good as a defense.
3rd and long for Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Now it's Tate. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And out come the Eagles. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. A run, it's Clement. And he'll power his way up near the 25. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down. Quite the turnaround from a week ago where he threw 4 interceptions. He hasn't had an interception this game, and he told us during the week, my goal, goose egg. He's achieving that so far.
And what we're seeing is a guy that you can win with, all right? Because anyone who can make that type of an adjustment to shake off a really horrendous week the week before and come back and play mistake-free football to this point, yeah, that's a guy I want to play with, that's for sure.
He'll rifle this one deep. It's caught inside the 25. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. They give him a gain of 38.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looks pretty good until the finish. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
On this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
He'll find Thielen working the middle. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown of the 2-point conversion. Field goals aren't going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started, nice gain, got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
They go play action here on 1st down. And this one to Treadwell, complete. 23 yards on the play. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it's funny, isn't it? Oftentimes when we get with these offensive coordinators, they always talk about the word balance. Well, sometimes you take balance and just throw it out the window. Sometimes balance is using what keeps working, and that's what they were doing, throwing the football.
And the Eagles will go with an extra DB here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd.
Thinking pass all the way.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Mike Bennett in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Here's Matt Wild now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. That ball's caught. Aguilar, right side. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On play action, it's Wentz. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Hey. There we go. Back.
On play action, Wentz. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards. So tough to cover a big tight end like that.
It changes the chalk, as one of my coaches like to say, meaning the normal things don't apply. All right, used to say, okay, there's a tight end going out. We're either going to put a big linebacker on him or maybe a safety and call it a day. Now, because of the strength of that position and the sheer number of catches that they make as well as their dexterity, sometimes you have to put a cornerback on him because he might be the primary guy going out for a pass. It changes what they do defensively, and it's usually not good for the defense. All the elements of what you want out of a play came together on that one. A really nice run, took care of the football, and even more importantly, taking the clock under 4 minutes now. At this stage of the game, how do you bleed out the clock, take care of the ball, and make sure the other team doesn't have a chance to come back on you? You're looking at your sheet, how many timeouts are left, how many runs do we need to close it out? That's what the coach is looking at right now. Situational football, trying to gain a victory.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. He's going to flip one out here to his running back, and he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and just like that, it's 3rd down. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. It's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. To throw is Wentz. Aguilar has it. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On the carry, here's Clement. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Now Wentz. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And, all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Roughing the passer, defense.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. The penalty is a result of that hit there.
First down. Here's Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. On play action, Cousins. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. Third down now.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Throwing is Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Desperation time. Cousins on fourth down. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. But down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. It didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play. And they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Wentz with a kneel down, and that will be the final act of this game. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Eagles, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Somebody call for the queen.